All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are taking another look at DBD and FRC. I actually mentioned FRC a couple days ago. It looked like it was starting to turn, starting to get a little interesting there. And you can see this one's already making a nice little move with a beautiful 17%er today, right? So we'll talk about a couple of the technicals, and man, I hope they're jumping out to you already before I even say them, all right? But real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms, but hey, even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? Thank you, thank you. And look, I am not perfect, I am not all-knowing, there's no crystal ball telling me what tomorrow looks like, so if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, all right? I am not perfect. I already said all that shit. So cool, beautiful. Let's get into it. Look, I mean, I don't really know where these lines came from. It might have been the weekly. This one's for sure 50% candle of that red one, right? So that one makes a lot of sense why it stopped here. But I'll go back and see if these are worth deleting or not, but hey, at least we saw this one work, so maybe it's probably smart to keep those. We'll see. But what am I looking at immediately? Look, this day breaks the 8. This day gives us good confirmation, and there are very, very, very few resistances in front of us immediately, right? So zooming out, I see this one does look like a pretty important line. I'm going to keep this 159. I think I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy though. Let me check the weekly real quick, actually, just before I delete that. All right, we took the bottom of the weekly here. I'll keep it. All right, why not? Let's just keep it. Look, I will very much say this. I'm surprised that this line I didn't draw right here, but it is only a couple cents off, so like, you know, I don't mind that much. But yeah, this one makes a lot of sense to me. This one's 50% candle right there, and then we saw this one hit over here, if I'm not mistaken, right? Bottom of this guy, bottom of that guy. That's actually, that's a good little 2 hits for me. So yeah, I think the immediate goal would be going from this 12 cents to almost 40 cents, right? That's huge. You're adding roughly 30 cents. That's a nice little almost 30% move right there, right? So I would for sure love to know if this thing goes a penny higher. Let's go ahead and set the alert at 113. Cool. Let me know if that happens. Again, an alert is not an immediate buy notification. It's definitely, hey, come check out the charts and stuff. But I'm very much liking the RSI. This thing's been super beat up, right? So you see a little curve right there. And what I really like more, I like the volume a lot. This thing actually, for the last few days, has been on a nice little steady incline, right? So I'm hoping that getting over this might actually bring some decent volume, right? So we've been chugging along right here. I like that. I'm a big fan of slow and steady. I know the recent runners do a little better for my views, I'll say that, but yeah, I like slow and steady. That's actually, you know, it's good. You know what I mean? It's more sustainable. So a lot to like here for sure. Obviously, it would very much suck if we, I mean, really, I would see the downside being maybe 107 or 105. But again, the upside's definitely there. So I would for sure watch this. You already saw the alert. I said, where are we on the weekly? Obviously, nowhere good on the weekly. But hey, we've so far taken most of that candle. There's reason to believe, actually, these lines make a little more sense. This one's about 50% of this big one. So I think 159 is actually a very realistic target. And again, I'm actually glad I didn't delete this because, yeah, I could see this very much stopping us as just kind of like the apex here. But I would probably put a little more emphasis on the 160 than on this 140 roughly. So, but yeah, again, check it out tomorrow for sure. FRC again. So I think I put the video here, if I'm not mistaken. Clearly, it didn't do ideally as I wanted immediately, but today hopefully does what it does, and I mean, today did what it did, sorry. Hopefully tomorrow confirms what today does. That's really what we're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert for just a little bit higher than where we're at today. Let's hit it at 28. Let's give it 2 more cents. Why not? Yeah, if we can go up there's a lot of reason to believe I don't want to say at least, but we'll come to this 20. That's the first stop, I would imagine. We would come to 27, which is basically 50% of this candle and the bottom of this guy. Or, I mean, from there, it's 34 or 50, right? So for now, I would focus on 14 to 20 because that's almost 50%. I could for sure see people just getting to right there and being real happy, right? So, what's this guy right here? Interesting. 16. I could see that like 14 to 16. Even setting an alert right here at like 1590 and writing all that all the way up to 50, that's still a quick 25 banger right there, right? So I do think that's also well worth noting. Yeah, for sure, right? So I think those are the trajectories. I'll at least call out this 16 because maybe it'll be something. It's definitely an insignificant. It's not that significant a candle. I couldn't say insignificant. Sorry. So I would probably put a little more emphasis here, but yeah, I don't want to just not call that out. What does the weekly look like? Not as good as DBD, but again, DBD just dropped a 16 banger, right? What this thing has done on the week, the last one just did in a day, right? So it makes sense that the candle's going to look a little better, but I think I'm kind of seeing that same curve. We're finally seeing some buying after so long, right? And it's actually a decent amount of buying. So, yeah, I'd be real interested to see what this one does tomorrow. So, hey, again, I'm not here to pretend I know what's going to happen with like the federal rate movements and stuff like that, but I love it when the lines are broken and there's like a good little spacing between the next moving averages and nothing but like good spacing and good candles around it, right? So both are definitely well worth checking out tomorrow. So, hey, if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments. Otherwise, just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.